Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tarble Pavilion on the campus of Swarthmore College for today's Centennial Conference volleyball match between the Franklin and Marshall College Diplomats and your Swarthmore College Guardian. Now for today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Diplomats. A senior libero from Wilmington, Delaware, number 3, Mary Ledweaver. A senior outside hitter from Chaps Fords, Pennsylvania, number 5, Ellie Ezekiel. A freshman outside hitter from South Riding, Virginia, number 8, Christine Yu. A freshman outside hitter from Ambler, Pennsylvania, number 9, Grace Polisano. A senior outside hitter from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, number 12, Sarah Landry. A senior setter from Livingston, New Jersey, number 15, Allison Edelstein. And a junior middle hitter from McCutcheon, New Jersey, number 18, Cassie Garrison. Head coach for F&M is Mary Kate Boland. She is assisted by Chris Salto and Steve Colston. And now the starting lineup for your Swarthmore Guardian. First, a freshman middle blocker from New York City, number 9, Emma Morgan Bennett. A freshman outside hitter from Santa Clara, California, number 10, Merad Robin. A freshman middle blocker from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, number 11, Rachel Westphal. A sophomore libero from Woodbine, Maryland, number 2, Sarah Gerard. A sophomore setter from Glen Mills, Pennsylvania,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Garnet Sports Network presentation of Swarthmore Volleyball here at Volleyball Pavilion. I'm Mark Filati. Thank you for joining in for today's volleyball game between the Swarthmore Garnet and the visiting Franklin and Marshall Diplomats. Swarthmore comes into this game a stellar 9-1. They lost their opening game of the season and are on a 9-game winning streak heading into this affair. Franklin and Marshall enters this game 8-4. This is the second Centennial Conference game for the Garnets, and it's the Centennial opener for Franklin and Marshall. Now, these are two teams with a good amount of recent history. Historically, F&M has dominated this series, winning 38 out of 46 contests between the two teams all time. But Swarthmore has won the last two matchups between these two teams. And this is set to be a battle between two of the stronger teams in the Centennial early in the season. As we tip off here at Volleyball Pavilion. So a very long opening point goes to Swarthmore. Mira Dembravin on that kill. This is set to be a difficult matchup for both sides. Last year, Swarthmore won 3-1. As Cummings sets the serve up, misplay by F&M. Set by Cummings to Leventhal on the wing. And the kill is made by Sarah Landry, the senior from F&M. The F&M offense in a lot of ways revolves around Allison Edelstein, the senior setter, who has 410 assists already this season, leads the conference in assists per set. She is pretty much the exclusive setter for the team. Leventhal has to block that over. Cummings plays it wide to Leventhal. It's saved. Landry blocked. Gerard wide to Leventhal again. And tucks it neatly into the corner. Beautiful shot from Leventhal. Leventhal is certainly a key asset on the Garnet offense as an outside hitter, along with Sarah Wallace, the reigning Centennial Conference Player of the Week, who just last weekend recorded her 1,000th kill. A fantastic achievement for her career, and even more impressive considering the fact that she is just a junior. As Swarthmore takes that point. Quinn Mesh is serving now. Swarthmore is one of the strongest serving teams in the conference and really the country too. It's wide to Wallace. It was tipped but unplayable, so that is a kill for Sarah Wallace. He is currently third in the conference in kills per set. Mesh again with the serve. It's barely saved. Now it's to be played over by Ezekiel. Wide to Leventhal. Now again Ezekiel. Tipped by Cummings, saved by Leventhal, and played back over. Good block by the middle blocker. Ezekiel behind the 10-foot line. Now to Cummings, up to Wallace, and it's down. Beautiful touch from Wallace, finds a hole. Mesh to serve again, and sends that one long. So that error will give the service back to F&M. F&M is coming off a tough weekend last weekend, where they hosted 4 teams, including Carnegie Mellon, who is currently ranked number 14 in the country. F&M took the first 2 sets, but couldn't maintain the victory. They lost 15-12 in the 5th set, and that was their most recent game. So we know that F&M is more than capable of hanging with the strongest teams in the country, let alone the conference. This is saved by Dembravin, and Cummings tried to two-hand it over. It was a difficult ball to play, though, with their back turned to the net. F&M and Swarthmore have had one mutual opponent thus far. That would be Eastern, who is currently number 10 in the country. Certainly a volleyball powerhouse. That was the Garnet's opponent in the first game of the season, but they were swept in straight sets by Eastern, while F&M hosted them last Friday. They took a set, but lost in 4 sets. So both teams extremely capable of playing at a high level. Swarthmore's out to an early lead, though, 7-3 in the first set. Great serve by Scott, but it's saved. Now Ezekiel on the wing pounds it down. Scott could not get a grip on it. A lot of power on that shot. So it'll be Ezekiel to serve. Played to Wallace. Now Cummings. Back to Wallace. And it's saved. Now wide to Polisano. Cummings again. Up to Dembravin on the back line. She got nothing on that. Looks like she couldn't decide what she was going to do with that ball. And she nets it. The freshman Dembravin out of Santa Clara, California. She's played a big role on the team thus far. She's hitting a 293. Very strong. Or excuse me, she's hitting 335, which is even stronger. She has 2.93 kills per set, which is fantastic. Now that's Wallace on that kill. She finds a hole in that back line. And already, that's 5 kills for Sarah Wallace out of 13 points played, so she's doing pretty well so far. She serves it up. Now it's played wide to Polisano. Saved by Gerard. Set wide to Dembravin, and she puts it down. Ezekiel dove. Couldn't get a hand on it. Edelstein sets it up to Garrison. And Gerard was there on the dive. But it was a tough angle. Well played by Garrison. 9-6 in this opening set. It'll be Garrison back to serve. Cummings has to save it, and then Dembravin just taps it over. Edelstein. Saved by Gerard. Cummings with a big dive, and Scott again, two-hand push. Now set up again for Polisano. Malia Scott is there. Cummings back wide to Dembravin. She played it soft again. Now from the back, it was Ezekiel. But she went for a difficult short angle from behind the 10-foot line. And so now, serve will go back to Rachel Vreslavic. Local freshman who went to Strathaven here in Swarthmore. Now it's over to Christine Yu. It's a difficult angle. Vreslavic out to Dembravin again, has to one-hand it and plays it wide. So it seems like the Garnet may be having a little bit trouble setting up some of their points. They've had to play some interesting shots. Although this is a team known for their very balanced attack. Under head coach Harley Chwastik. Her 15th season with the Garnet. Now it's Cummings. Back wide to Dembravin. And she gets some pace on it, and it is knocked off of Edelstein. Well played by Dembravin. And it will be the sophomore Elise Cummings back to serve. Cummings leads the team in aces thus far in the season with 20. And it's misplayed, but saved. Ezekiel plays it over. Gerard with a big dive. Cummings over to Leventhal. It's saved. Lena Weaver to Polisano. And it's wide. Again, a difficult angle out of that F&M side. And so F&M coach Mary Kate Boland will use a timeout. It's 12-7 in the first set. We'll be back with you in just a moment here on the Garnet Sports Network. Swarthmore has an early lead in this first set. Much of it thanks to Sarah Wallace. She's swinging 7-14 in this first set, which is absurd. 5 kills out of the team's 12 total points. It's Elise Cummings to serve. She sends it over, and it is deep. So a service error from Cummings, her 14th of the year, and it will be Polisano out of F&M to serve. F&M is an interesting case. They've long been a dominant powerhouse in the Centennial, including winning the 2014 Conference Championship, earning the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, as that ball played hard by Ezekiel off of Cummings. But they've struggled a little bit, more than they're used to at least, in the last 2 years. Last season they were 14-15. It was the team's first losing season since 1989. And they finished 5th in the conference. Certainly not what the Diplomats are used to. Well played by Cummings. It's two-handed. Ezekiel goes with the tap. Cummings went for it. Couldn't get there. A smart play from Ezekiel. She's definitely one of the offensive weapons on the outside for the Diplomats. They're on a 3-point streak out of the timeout, and they've narrowed the lead to 2. Played hard to Dembravin. Cummings saves it. Dembravin from the back. Now it's played short to Polisano, and she nets it. It was a tough call swinging from behind that 10-foot line. And it wasn't quite enough to get it over the net. Now it's Gwyn Mesh back to serve. Played wide to Landry. It's tipped. Looks like it was tipped off of Emma Morgan-Bennett, the freshman. But she and Sarah Wallace were unable to handle it. So the serve is in from Lena Weaver. Cummings wide to Wallace. And it was tipped. Tipped off the hands of Garrison. Now it'll be back Sarah Gerard to serve. Also one of the team's service leaders. She's got 19 aces on the season. But it's an error. She pushed it long. So now in to serve for F&M will be Perez Zambas. It's a tight first set, but Swarthmore holding on to a close margin. Wallace two-hands it up to Cummings. Vreslavic got enough depth on it that Shea Murphy couldn't get enough of a play. So a smart move from Vreslavic. She's part of a strong freshman class for Swarthmore that has seen a lot of minutes early in this season. Again, part of a very strong, balanced attack. And we've seen the freshmen especially being key cogs in the middle, adding a ton of key height. And that ball is played over. Scott back to Malia Scott, and Sarah plays it long. Now it's Ezekiel. A little bit misplayed, and Sarah Wallace has to tap it back over. Now it's over to Garrison. And the blocker's got a tip on it, but unable to be corralled in the back. Certainly a lot more height added by the freshmen, particularly Vreslavic and Dembravin, who are currently in the game, as well as Emma Morgan Bennett. Now Wallace coming in from the back. It was tipped, saved by Wallace. Leah Scott to Dembravin. It's saved. Garrison plays it off Gerard, saved by Dembravin, and played over by Vreslavic. Now wide to Polisano. And it was a double touch. It's a 3-point margin for Swarthmore as Wallace steps back to serve. Wallace, of course, a 2-time honorable mention All-American and the reigning Centennial Conference Player of the Year. But she nets that serve. Maybe wasn't entirely clear what she was planning to do with that one. It's her 8th error of the season, and so it'll be Cassie Garrison serving for F&M. Throw it over to Malia Scott. Wide to Dembravin, but it's long. She went for the power angle down the line, but a little too much mustard behind that. And it's just a 1-point game now. Serve is played wide by Garrison. Smart by Dembravin to let it bounce. Morgan Bennett is back into the game. And it will be Vreslavic to serve. She sends it over. Well played by Edelstein. Smart right hand. Totally faked out the blockers. Really well done. Soft touch. And so Edelstein is back to serve. Leah Scott plays it back to Wallace. It's misplayed. Ezekiel from the back. Over to Malia Scott. Back to Dembravin from deep. Wide for Landry. Saved by Bridget Scott. Dembravin again. And it's tipped off the hands of Christine Yu. So Dembravin will take her 4th kill of this first set. And it'll be Cummings back in to serve in replacement of Bridget Scott. Cummings already with 10 assists on the day. Cummings back to Olivia Leventhal. Saved by Edelstein. Now set for Polisano. And a huge block. Morgan Bennett. She was much too much for Polisano on the wing. Like I said, these freshmen contributing big time in the center. Now it's Cummings. Wide to Dembravin. And she takes the kill, her 5th. Well-constructed point. Mary Kate Bowen has to talk things over as Swarthmore has extended this lead back to 4 late in this first set, 20-16. We'll be back with you in a moment here on the Garnet Sports Network. Four-point lead for the Garnet. It's Elise Cummings to serve. She sends it deep. Edelstein plays it to Landry. Another huge block. And that makes it a 5-point game. Morgan Bennett is a rock up front for the Garnet. Edelstein, wide to Polisano. Morgan Bennett got a hand on it, but not enough. So it's a solid kill for Polisano to end the Garnet's 4-point run. It's Polisano's first kill of the match in 9 attempts. So she's finally on the board, and she's back to serve. Plays it deep to Dembravin. Cummings set wide for Leventhal. And a beautiful kill. Set up for that angle very nicely. And Leventhal has her second kill. Again, a 5-point lead for Swarthmore. It's Gwyn Mesh, sophomore, serving. Edelstein plays it from deep to Ezekiel. She got a big right hand on it. And again, the blockers couldn't get enough on it. The libero, Lena Weaver, serving for F&M. She nets it. And that's a critical moment for an error. SWAT just 2 points from closing out this opening set. It'll be Gerard now to serve. The ball is played over. Wallace back to Cummings. She has a tough play, and it's a double touch. But she had a very difficult ball to work with. So it's a Swarthmore mistake. Still a decent lead. It's Zambus, the senior, serving. Cummings wide to Wallace. And it's tipped, saved by Ezekiel. And they're able to play it back over. It's up. And Wallace puts it down. Edelstein and Garrison got the tip. But well done by Wallace to make that finish. And so, looking to close out a strong opening half, it will be the lefty junior, Malia Scott. Gets it deep. Edelstein from far back. Ezekiel, strong right arm, but saved by Dembravin high. Dembravin from way deep. Edelstein out to Garrison, and it was tipped by Vreslavic, but played wide. And F&M stays alive in this opening set. They've got a long way to go, though. Here's Scott over to Wallace. And a beautiful tip. Well done by Sarah Wallace. She went with the cheeky move rather than the power play, and that closes out the opening set for Swarthmore, 25-20. We'll be back with you for more Swarthmore volleyball here on the Garnet Sports Network.
At the end of the first set, Swarthmore wins the first set, 25-20.
Welcome back to GSN at Tarble Pavilion. We're about to kick off the second set. Swarthmore taking the opener, 25-20. Sarah Wallace has been the key to the SWAT attack. 8 kills, swinging .533. So she's having herself a fantastic game thus far. Den Bravin also with 5 kills. And Elise Cummings, 13 assists in the first set alone. She's the one serving to open this set. Edelstein touched the net. Or excuse me, double touch. Edelstein has 9 assists thus far on the day. Ezekiel has 4 kills, but in 15 attempts. So she's hitting 200. That was Polisano. Big swing. Gerard was there on the dive, but couldn't get enough of her arm on it. This is definitely an important matchup with conference implications. Swarthmore was selected as the preseason favorite to win the conference by Centennial coaches. As Wallace swings from behind the 10-foot line and plays it wide. While F&M was selected third, but received a few first-place votes. So certainly there's a feeling that F&M is one of the stronger teams in the conference. And the Garnet have the blessing or perhaps the curse of being favored to win after tying for the regular season championship in 2015. Wallace misplays it from the back line. Wasn't sure how to handle that ball. It's an early 3-1 lead for the Diplomats. The standing serve. It's Cummings. It's Leventhal with the tip, but a little bit too high. Edelstein wide. And it was tipped by Morgan Bennett, but the kill is credited to Sarah Landry. Swarthmore, as I mentioned, is going for their 10th consecutive victory, which is very impressive. They've had their victories against some middling competition, though. Their strongest opponent has been Catholic, who they defeated in straight sets this past weekend in the Newman Invitational, which they won. But more so than winning 9 straight matches, they've also won 27 consecutive sets. They have not dropped a set since their opening game loss to Eastern 3 weeks ago. So that is an impressive statistic. Morgan Bennett 2 hands it over. Now it's Ezekiel, strong right arm. Cummings plays it back to Wallace. Not able to get a lot on it. Edelstein, and it's one-handed by Yu. Cummings wide to Leventhal, and it's down. Tipped off the hands of Ezekiel on the wing. So that ends a 5-point string out of the Diplomats. Mesh to serve. A nice low liner. Now it's wide to Yu. Cummings to Leventhal. But it's netted. She played it from a little deep. Difficult angle. And then Bravin, the freshman, is back in for Mesh. And it was a double touch by Elise Cummings. She had to play a tough ball from Dembravin, right on top of the net. Tried to play it back to Morgan Bennett for the quick touch. Unclear what the call was on that point. Possibly a rotational error. Whatever it is, it's a free point for F&M, and they're out to a 8-2 lead very quickly in this first set. But the momentum is ended by the Leonard Weaver service error. Now it's Gerard. She's got 9 digs on the day. She sent it in. Edelstein with the setup. And the tip is perfectly played by Garrison. Very narrow space she was playing into. Squeezes it between 4 Garnet defenders. And so it'll be Zambis to serve. Deep serve. Dembravin, tough ball to Gerard. Plays it to Wallace. He's able to get a good arm on it. Wide to Ezekiel. Saved by Cummings. Leventhal was one-handed by Edelstein. Now wide to Ezekiel from deep. Cummings wide to Wallace. And she puts it down. Murphy got a left arm on it, but too much pace out of Wallace. That is her 9th kill. Still swinging .421. She is 3rd in the conference thus far this season in kills. The lefty Scott sends it in. Now it's Ezekiel. Dug by Gerard. Saved by Malia Scott. Edelson with the setup wide to Ezekiel. She one-arms it. Beautiful save. Amazing point. What a beautiful turn of events. It was a fantastic dig. And then the one hand by Gerard to put it over the net. Completely out of position for the Diplomats too. So that was an exciting point. Potentially a momentum swinger for the Garnet. Now down by 4. Malia Scott to serve again. Edelstein with a tough save to Ezekiel. Saved by Dembravin. Now Vreslavic has to dig it over. A huge right arm swung by Garrison. She got a step on that ball. Found the outside of the ball. Got a good angle. And the ball is back in Diplomat territory. The Garnet again riding a 28-set winning streak. Bridget Scott took a massive arm and it was tipped. Unclear who the tip was off. And the ball did land just long. Bridget Scott had a lot of pace on that. But it is a point for the Garnet. And so it will be Wallace serving. Tough dig. Tapped over by Dembravin. Well played by Dembravin to recognize that ball. Hovering just over the top of the net. Puts her 2 hands on it. And again, Dembravin will take it. It looks like Dembravin will take it. The exact same play for the Garnet, as F&M has been unable to control Wallace's serves from the midcourt. That's a deep ball from Wallace, too deep. So it's a 3-point game, but still 2 big-time, I guess you could call them kills, from Dembravin. So Dembravin to Malia Scott, and Vreslavic is blocked. Now Edelstein with the set. To you. Played off Gerard. Wallace is back. And Gerard saves it. Now played wide. Malia Scott with the left arm. Gerard sets. Dembravin. It's tipped. And that's a point for the Garnet. Amazing save. Gerard got an arm on it. And Wallace had to go way back. A good 20 feet behind the court. And Gerard was able to two-hand it over the net to stay alive. But Vreslavic, the freshman, makes an error, her second today. So pretty back and forth in this first set. What was a 6-point lead is now 3 for F&M. Played wide to Dembravin. Malia Scott. Deep ball from Sarah Wallace. Edelstein to Landry. It's tipped. Saved by Scott on the dive. And nobody could corral that ball. It was tipped off that front line and unable to be saved. So it's Edelstein with the serve. Malia Scott over to Bridget Scott, who is blocked. A fierce block by Yu and Polisano, the freshman tandem on that blocking line. Bridget Scott went big, but straight into the waiting arms of the F&M blockers, and it's back to a 5-point lead. Now a short serve, saved by Dembravin. Scott plays it for Wallace. Unclear if she was the intended target, and she had to one-hand it and send it straight into the net. Chwastik not terribly happy, Coach Chwastik, about how this set is progressing thus far. It's 15-9. The Diplomats with a big lead in the second set. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back with you on the Garnet Sports Network. Franklin and Marshall has extended its lead to 6 points in the second set, down 1-0. Malia Scott plays it to Dembravin, but a beautiful save by Edelstein. Lena Weaver has to play it over and somehow found an angle. Nobody was there. Wallace came running in from the back, but it was a great angle by Lena Weaver. Almost with her back completely turned to the court. Biggest lead of the game for the Diplomats. Malia Scott again wide to Dembravin. A double hit. Tough luck for Scott. And with Sarah Wallace stuck on that back line, SWAT has not been able to dominate points. Instead, it's been the Diplomats. But Edelstein clips the net, bounces wide. And so finally, Swarthmore stops the bleeding in the second set. It's now 17-10. Cummings will serve. Edelstein with the set. And that right arm from Landry was tipped. 8-point lead for F&M. The Garnet looking a little deflated in the second set. The Diplomats have come out of nowhere and sharpened their attack. Ezekiel and Landry hitting well, with Edelstein hitting 500. That ball is long. Another error from Swarthmore. F&M has a tight grip on this second set. Something's going to have to change right away if the Garnet want to salvage this set. Cummings to set wide to Leventhal, and it's netted. That's another error. Coach Chwastik trying to rally her team to stay in this set. The offense has not clicked at all here in the second. Wallace with the dig. Cummings to Dembravin. And finally, that's a point for the Garnet. Dembravin with a smart one-hand touch. She played it for placement rather than for power. Dembravin now 9 kills, swinging 273 today. She's second in the conference in hitting percentage. .335 entering this game. That'll be an ace for Mesh off the net. She'll be happy with that one. It's her 15th ace of the season. The Garnet looking for a huge rally in this set. It's wide to Ezekiel, but a very large kill by Ellie Ezekiel on that left wing. She's played some ferocious balls in this game, and she's got 6 kills to lead the Diplomats. Now it's Wallace. It's a big right arm, and unable to be corralled by Shea Murphy. So well played by Wallace. She's in double digits, still hitting .364 on the game. The reigning conference player of the year. Played in by Gerard. Edelstein, the short set. And a smart play by Landry into the middle. The Garnet could not handle that ball. Still 9 points. And F&M is looking to close out a dominant second set. Serve is in. Then Bravin with the low dig. Cummings wide to Wallace. Showing with a soft right arm. Now the two-hand play back. It's up to Wallace. And Doug. Edelstein wide to Ezekiel. Blocked. Back to Ezekiel from deep. Clips the line on the inside angle. Ellie Ezekiel puts F&M within 2. Coach Harley Twostic not ready to give up on the set. She's taking a timeout. And we'll take a 1-minute break here on the Garnet Sports Network. So Franklin and Marshall, just 2 points from evening this showdown between two of the Centennial's strongest volleyball teams. It's wide to Sarah Wallace. She gets way up on that ball. Big time kill for Wallace. Her 11th. Coming off of the timeout, now it's Malia Scott. And she tried to play it to the near side, but it's netted. And so it's set point. Ellie Ezekiel, who has been the focal point of the F&M offense, will serve. She's hitting .231. That's a net herself. And so, perhaps the beginnings of a comeback in the second set. It will be Wallace serving to stay alive. Good low serve. And a big kill from Grace Polisano. Her third kill of the match. And that is the first set lost by Swarthmore in the last 29 sets played. It's even up. A big second set victory for Franklin and Marshall. We'll be right back with you with the start of the third set here at Tarbell Pavilion on the Garnet Sports Network. Welcome back to GSN. It's Swarthmore versus Franklin and Marshall here in Tarbell Pavilion. One set apiece. The Garnet took the opening set in a pretty back and forth affair, 25-20. But domination from the Diplomats in the second set as they swung 444. Fantastic offense. But the first point out for the Garnet is a big-time kill from Dembravin. She's got the team hyped. If you can believe this, it's the 11th game of the season for Swarthmore and the first competitive one in terms of sets won. The first time that they played a game where both teams have won a set. So, in a sense, they're pretty inexperienced for this kind of game where it's going to go at least 4 sets or more. That ball misplayed by Ezekiel. And so we see Swarthmore trying to get very fired up, particularly from the bench. Trying to rally after a difficult second set, swinging only 133. That's a big-time kill from Polisano. A big key to the F&M offense in the second set was Sarah Landry. who was 4 for 4 on attacks, as well as 3 kills from big swinger Ellie Ezekiel. Now it's Cummings wide to Leventhal. It's tipped. Played back up. Edelstein to you. Blocked. Well done by the freshman blockers, Morgan Bennett and Dembravin. So an early 3-1 lead for SWAT. The preseason favorites to win the conference title. And even though it's only their second conference match, and the first for F&M, this could have very big implications when it comes down to playoff time in November. Big save by Mesh. Cummings to Wallace. Blocked. And Morgan Bennett tried to dig it out, but a strong block from Christine Yu. In the second set, Dembravin was the most effective offensive force for the Garnet. 4 kills in 7 attempts. This one's wide to Leventhal, who went down the line and looks like it was a double hit. So Leventhal gets credit for the kill. And it's back to the libero, Gerard, for the serve. She was the Centennial Conference Rookie of the Year last season, named to the All-Conference First Team. And a strange hit from Ezekiel. Looks like she didn't get set up for that ball in time. She was still on the run. Tried to wrist that ball over the net. Gerard with a deep serve. Too much behind that one. It's her second error of the game. F&M is coming off of 2 brutal 5-set losses last Saturday. So certainly they've seen some tight situations early in their season. Dembravin couldn't get leverage from deep. But it is pretty strange for Swarthmore to be this far into the season, almost a full month, and not have played a match that has gone to 4 sets or more. So this will certainly be a test for Swarthmore, mentally and physically. If this game goes even deeper than 4, which it certainly might, given the back and forth nature of this game. Malia Scott, the lefty, was misplayed by Lena Weaver, and Lena Weaver has to play it over. It was short. So Dembravin to Scott, to Wallace, and she makes the kill off the tip. She got a decent angle on that ball. F&M was unable to set up its offense on that play. So Wallace with her 13th kill of the game. Dug by Scott. Gerard to Bridget Scott. Now wide to Ezekiel. Malia Scott backwards to Bridget Scott, but it was misplayed by Malia Scott on the backward set. And it is 7-5 early in this third set. Over to Wallace. She went for the soft play, but it was dug. Now Malia Scott to Gerard. Up to Wallace. She's blocked. Saved by Gerard. Now to the other side for Bridget Scott. And she misplays that ball. Sarah Wallace took a Pretty rare block. She has 13 kills, hitting .312 for the day. Let's play to Dembravin. She sends it long, and an easy throwdown put away from Cassie Garrison right over the net. The F&M bench is fired up. It was a bit of a misplayed dig from Dembravin. She couldn't control the pace enough. Now it's Wallace from the center and finds a great angle nestled in that back corner. Now the Wallace serve, tipped over by Edelstein. Leah Scott wide to Dembravin, and she gets up on it, puts it down. That's heavy from Dembravin, her 11th kill on the day. And she's been very effective as well. Very efficient as she has been throughout this first third of the season. Now a misplay from Garrison. Couldn't get on top of that ball, and it is Wallace to serve once again with a 3-point lead in hand. Now a tough play, but Edelstein sets it wide. And Polisano put it straight at Wallace. It was a difficult dig for Wallace to make on a heavy ball. And it's back to Garrison to serve. Gerard up to Malia Scott. Wide to Dembravin, and she's blocked. Vreslavic is blocked too. Now Bridget Scott from deeper. It's Doug and Christine Yu with the one arm. Unclear exactly what the call is, but it will go down as a Swarthmore error. Beautiful play by the blocking line of F&M. The two freshmen in front have made two critical stops during that point. Now it was wide. Tough play by Polisano, but saved. Bridget Scott plays it back over. Edelstein wide to Polisano again. And they're going to call it long. Polisano not too happy with that call. But she gave herself no margin on that kill. It'll go down as an error. Her fourth to go with 4 kills. Now we will see the first action of the day for senior Amanda Reed. She plays it deep. Christine Yu has it tipped, saved by Dembravin. We just got back to Sarah Wallace, who will send it back over. Now it's Polisano again with the tip. Scott wide to Dembravin, and she puts it down. Finds the hole. Her 12th kill. And Reed will be back to serve again. Reed plays it deep. Little misplayed. Zambas has to play it long. Reed, the set to Bridget Scott, who went for the soft touch. Leah Scott with the dig. Reed back to Bridget Scott. And she just couldn't decide what to do with that ball. So it's an error from Bridget Scott. Another local girl who went to Strathaven. It's Edelstein to serve. F&M down by 2. Tough save by Malia Scott. And Dembravin couldn't get an edge on it. So Coach Schwastik is going to take a timeout, nursing a slim 1-point advantage midway through this third set. We'll be back with you in a minute here on the Garnet Sports Network. It's Allison Edelstein, the senior setter, who will bring us back into play here at Tarble. Sarah Wallace from deep, big save by Lena Weaver. Dug by Wallace. Leah Scott wide to Dembravin. It's blocked. Edelstein out to Landry. And the blockers, Morgan Bennett and Dembravin, unable to get enough touch on that ball. And we are even in this third set. Edelstein went for a tight, short angle, but clipped the net. And it's back over now to Elise Cummings for Swarthmore. Edelstein with the set, but it was a miscommunication between Edelstein and Polisano on that far wing. Polisano had no play on that ball. It's a misplay off the Cummings serve. She's fired up, and the Garnet have taken a 3-point lead. It's a Franklin and Marshall timeout. And while we're here, we'll give you a quick update around Garnet athletics tonight. Earlier today, Swarthmore women's soccer hosted Widener, our friendly rival from down Route 320, and won 4-0 with goals from Marin McCoy, Brittany Wiederhold, Katie Doherty, and Hannah Lichtenstein. And currently going on out on Clothier Field, it's men's soccer with a non-conference game hosting currently undefeated St. Mary's of Maryland. And Zach Viscusi scored for the Garnet late in the first half. But early in the second, St. Mary's knotted up the score, so it is 1-1 in the 62nd minute out on Clothier Field. Now Elise Cummings with a beautiful service ace. She's got the Garnet hyped as she's building some big momentum for the Garnet. Now she went for the tight angle, plays it wide as her second error. To go with the 2 consecutive aces that she put together. Dug by Dembravin. Cummings wide to Leventhal, who's blocked but saved by Gerard. Morgan Bennett with the left hand. Now wide to Landry, saved by Wallace. Cummings very deep for Wallace. Edelstein again to Landry. Dug by Gerard. They're going to play it to Dembravin this time. Gets a good arm on it, but it's dug. Saved by Lena Weaver. Now Gerard up to Dembravin, who went for the tight corner. F&M has to play it over. Cummings will set it again for Dembravin. A beautiful dig by Lena Weaver. What a point this is. Cummings went for the two hands. And finally a mistake from Sarah Landry on her third attempt of the point. Maybe some indecision on that one. But a long point. Sides with Swarthmore. And it's a 4-point lead for Mesh, the sophomore. Out of Pleasantville, New York. An alum of Byram Hills High School. Nearby my own Mamaroneck High School. They'll clear off some sweat from the court. It's been a very back and forth affair here at Tarble. But Swarthmore looking to extend its lead in the third set. It's wide to Ezekiel. Massive block, but somehow dug. Morgan Bennett again. Now she's blocked. And finally, it will be F&M who takes that point. That ball was back and forth between the front lines of both teams. Morgan Bennett was swinging hard on top of the net, but she wasn't able to finish it off. Now it's Wallace. Misplayed by Murphy and unable to be saved by Edelstein. So that's another kill for Sarah Wallace. Freslavic is back into the game for fellow class of 2020 Emma Morgan Bennett. And it's the libero, Gerard, to serve. But she knocks it long. Her third error on the day. Dembravin with a tough dig. Cummings plays it wide to Wallace, who puts it down. Well done by Wallace to find that opening in the center and played just the right angle on the ball to play it untouchable. And for Wallace, that is now her season high for kills with 16. Big ball from Ezekiel, but dug by Gerard, just under the overhang. Now the wide swing from Garrison is dug by Scott, and Dembravin sent over. Wide again to Ezekiel, who pounds it, clipped off the net. Malia Scott got a hand on it, but it's a kill for Ezekiel. Her 8th on 39 attempts. She has definitely been the main point of attack for F&M. Wallace with the two-hand dig. Cummings plays it back to Gerard. Looks like a miscommunication there. Now wide for Polisano. And it's a tip off of the Garnet. So credit that kill to F&M. And this is a critical moment in this set. Momentum may be starting to swing a little bit. Swat still with a 2-point lead. Cummings plays it to Wallace. Goes with the soft touch. A block. It's dug. And has to be played over. So Malia Scott set to Cummings, to Wallace. Again, she finds the hole. Wallace has beautiful court sense. Whether she swings from the outside or from the middle of the court, she finds these difficult spaces in between multiple defenders. It's another big kill for Wallace. She's hitting .350. Now she's serving, blocked by Swat, and they're calling that a double touch on Ezekiel. So it's a 4-point lead. Coach Boland has to talk things over with her squad. as they're looking to stay in this third set. We'll be back with you in a moment on the Garnet Sports Network. Coach Mary Kate Boland had a few words for her Diplomat team. They're down by 4, deep in this third set. It swung wide to Polisano, and it is misplayed from the Diplomats in blue. Biggest lead of the set now for Swarthmore, 22-17. Wallace again with a low angle serve. Polisano played it from just in front of the 10-foot line, and she wasn't able to get over that ball, so she shoots it pretty far long. All the momentum is on the Garnet half. They're looking to close off the second set. Polisano, dug by Malia Scott, wide to Dembravin, and went for the inside angle. But they're going to call that one wide. So looking to stay alive, it's Cassie Garrison for F&M. It's Cummings to Vreslavic. Doug. Polisano again, she nets that one. It's another error out of Polisano. Her 8th to just 5 kills. So she has not been quite as effective as F&M would like. And so Amanda Reed out of Scarsdale, New York, prepares to serve out this third set and give the Garnet a key advantage in this tight match with the Diplomats. Polisano again, she makes an error, possibly a double touch. But that's the third set. Swarthmore, 25-18. They recovered well from a difficult second set. They're now 1 set away from picking up a big Centennial victory over F&M. We'll take a short intermission and be back with you for the 4th set on the Garnet Sports Network.
You're picking it up, you're good.
We're closing in on 9 p.m. here at Tarble Pavilion in Swarthmore, PA. And the Garnet volleyball team is closing in on a victory over Franklin and Marshall, but they've got another set to go. And the Diplomats are not going to go down lightly. Opening kill by Grace Polisano, who last set had 2 kills in 13 attempts, and Ellie Ezekiel had just 1 in her 13 attacking attempts. So F&M hit negative .093. Not the most impressive, and that was a key factor in them dropping the third set. Malia Scott played it over. Now Cummings, over to Dembravin running in. It's Doug, now Ezekiel. Doug by Gerard. Wide again to Dembravin. And she is able to get on top of that ball and throws it down for her 13th kill of the night. Now it's meshed serve. She knocks it long. So it'll be back to the libero, Lena Weaver. This is the first time all season, as I mentioned, that Swarthmore is playing a 4th set in a game. There's certainly a lot on the line in this game. A lot of implications moving forward in the season. A beautiful block by Malia Scott and Emma Morgan Bennett up front. Morgan Bennett credited with her 3rd block of the night, and she has been money up on that line. Gerard with the short serve. Ezekiel went for the angle on the near side. Cummings did well to let that ball be. It was wide. And SWAT takes a 3-2 lead. Played it to Landry. Dug by Cummings. Gerard to Wallace. Now Ezekiel again. Dug by Gerard. They'll play it to Scott. And Scott on the weak side got a big left hand on it. Great kill from Scott. It's her first of the game to go with 7 assists and 12 digs. I might add on that point, Elise Cummings notched a double-double, 10 digs with 24 assists. Ezekiel went big on that kill, but it's Doug. Now Wallace had it tipped. They'll play it out to Landry. Now Malia Scott. Back to Ezekiel. Dug by Cummings. Gerard plays it up for Scott. Off the net, it's Doug. Landry again. Took the inside track, tipped off Gerard. But that was well played by Landry, her 7th kill. She's hitting .238 on the day. Now it's Zambas serving for the Diplomats. Cummings had to make a difficult play off of that dig. Tried to play it backwards for for Dembravin. But she clips the net, and it's knotted up. Dembravin on the dig. Wallace tries to set it for Dembravin from long distance. Now Ezekiel went for the short play. Draw it up to Wallace on the power side. It's Doug. And a cheeky play from Edelstein, but it's saved, and Swat just has to play it back over. Now the run from Garrison is saved. Edelstein again to Garrison. She goes for the touch, and it's wide. Some smart play from Cassie Garrison, who takes that sort of skip when she goes up for her kills, when she swings wide. But off that error, it will be Malia Scott serving. Ezekiel went big. It was tipped and dug by Dembravin. Now Leventhal on the far side, touched by Lena Weaver, and put back into play by Ezekiel. Breslavic from the center, somehow dug. And now it's to Wallace. It was tipped and dug once again. Now Ezekiel, tipped off the left arm of Scott, unplayable. That was a solid point for F&M to win. Off some tight balls, kept it in play. It's 5s here at Tarble. It was a short serve from Ezekiel. Didn't get a clean hit on it. Any error at this stage is going to be costly. Now it's Sarah Wallace. Set by Edelstein, wide to Polisano. It's a double hit off Edelstein. A surprising error for Edelstein, who is working on her own double-double. 27 assists and 11 digs. But she costs F&M that point. Now Polisano went straight at the blockers, and Leventhal could not handle the pace. Polisano with her 7th kill. Still hitting in negative numbers, though. F&M hit very poorly in the third set. They'll really need to be more efficient with their attacking game if they are to claim this 4th set. That one was played over by Polisano. Wide to Dembravin. It's Doug, and again to Polisano. And sends it long. She had the edge past Wallace down the center of the court and put too much heat behind that ball. It's back to a 2-point lead, and it's back to Amanda Reed, the senior. Reed with a miss hit. She caught it a little bit on the short side, and it was pushed right. And so, ball goes back to F&M. Down by 1. Dembravin with the dig up to Morgan Bennett. And she didn't hit it quite cleanly, but it was perfectly placed. Emma Morgan Bennett comes in, listed at 6 feet, but she's able to get way high over the net. And for her, it's just a matter of sending the ball back down from where it came. She's unable to handle the block on that play, though. Swat setting up with 4 in the back. Served by Polisano. A little bit misplayed by Dembravin. Cummings with the set to Malia Scott, who places it low, but it's dug. Ezekiel on the far wing, tips off the net. Wallace from deep, it's misplayed, but it's saved off the net by Yu. Now Dembravin, and she'll take the kill. Dembravin got a lot of pace on that ball. She's on her own double-double. 14 kills now, 15 digs. A very versatile player who will take a seat for the time being as Mesh returns to play. To serve, it's too much, sends it long. Mesh has 2 aces, but now 3 errors to go along with it. Dembravin back into the game now for Mesh. Dug by Dembravin. Gerard sends it up to Wallace on the 10-foot line, sends it deep. Back to Landry, big block by Morgan Bennett. Ezekiel from behind the line. Gerard has to send it to Malia Scott on the weak side, blocked. Now Wallace went for the touch. Dug by Cummings. Gerard has to go wide to save it. And Dembravin will play it back over. It's over to Garrison. Now Wallace, beautiful push into the corner. She spotted the defense, looking for a kill down the midcourt. And she did very well to spot that ball deep into the far corner. Well played by Sarah Wallace. Still hitting over 300, 18 kills. And she has a season high for kills in this game. Part of the reason for that is that this is the first time that Swarthmore's played more than 3 sets in a game. So a lot more attacking opportunities for all. Now it's Landry, dug by Gerard. Set for Malia Scott. Big left arm, it's dug. And they're calling it off the antenna from Ezekiel. That set was too long. Almost on top of the net and wide. And so Ezekiel had pretty much no angle to play that safely back into play. It's 12-9. Swat with a 3-point lead. Ezekiel gets up big for that ball. Nobody could touch that. Pretty easy kill for Ezekiel. That gives her 10 on the day to go with 12 digs. And it's back to Zambas for the serve. Cummings played it a little long. It actually worked, and Malia Scott able to get that easy tip in, or tap in over the net. It was a bit of a misplay set by Cummings. She launched it over the net, but F&M was not ready for the ball. And Malia Scott was right there. Just had to put the ball right down to finish off that point. Gerard plays it wide to Wallace. Tough angle. Now to Garrison. And again to Wallace. It's up. And it's dug. Scott went for the dig. She tried to play it back over on the high ball with two hands. But it was a really difficult play. Ezekiel with the serve. Malia Scott to set to Leventhal, and a great angle from Leventhal. Well set by Scott. And well played by Leventhal to take her 5th kill of the night. Tough set for Edelstein. Diving save by Gerard. Dembravin is blocked. And Gerard made a stab at it. But it was an error off of Gerard. Just a 2-point lead in the 4th set here in Tarbell. Malia Scott over to Dembravin. She gets up high, and Zambas couldn't handle the angle. Dembravin got some real height up on top of that ball. Her 15th kill, hitting 225. Again, a 3-point margin. Amanda Reed is back in to serve. She knocks it low. F&M just has to play it back over. Wallace with the set. And Morgan Bennett again with that height. She's got a fantastic vertical. And when you're that high, it's just a matter of placement. A big kill for Morgan Bennett. It's her 2nd. And Coach Boland has got to take a timeout for the Diplomats with a 4-point lead for Swarthmore in the 4th set, up 2-1. While we're here, we'll take you quickly around the Centennial Conference. Johns Hopkins opened its Centennial Conference schedule with a big 3-0 win over Haverford. Haverford being 2nd in the conference last year. That's a really strong win for Hopkins to get the sweep. For all the other teams, there was non-conference games tonight. Bryn Mawr was swept by visiting Moravian. Washington College traveled to D.C. for a match with Catholic, who Swarthmore defeated this past weekend, I might add. But Catholic got the sweep 3-0. Dickinson also unable to take a set off of York of Pennsylvania. And Gettysburg on the road at Susquehanna took a loss 3-1. So we are back with Amanda Reed serving for the Garnet. Looking to extend this lead. U is blocked by Morgan Bennett. A lot of energy coming off the Garnet side. Another big block from Morgan Bennett. That's her 4th. And her presence has been huge when she's been on that blocking line. Now a misplayed dig, but it's saved. 2 hands from Polisano. Actually a beautiful play with a 2-hand angle. Nobody was even close to that ball for the Garnet. An insightful play from Polisano. F&M really needs to make up this margin right now. Can't afford to wait too much longer with this deficit. Dembravin a misplay, saved by Morgan Bennett. And Wallace gets a clip off the net, saved. Doug. Dembravin gets a big arm on it, but it is Doug. That ball is going to be sent wide. by Ezekiel off the back line. She went for a tight hole down the near side. It's back to a 5-point lead, and it'll be Elise Cummings looking to extend the Garnet advantage in this fourth set. Bit of a misplay from Ezekiel. Polisano has a dunk by Dembravin, and Dembravin goes for the deep corner, but a nice save. Gerard, set wide to Scott. She puts it down. Beautiful kill from Malia Scott with that left arm. Tucks it neatly inside the line on the near side. Edelstein plays it for Polisano. Now Cummings, the set to Dembravin. Blocked. Dembravin is blocked by Christine Yu, her second of the game. F&M still has time to close the gap, but time is winding down. Sent in by Polisano. Cummings up to Morgan Bennett, but she wasn't able to get a good touch on it. Now Landry, it was tipped, dug by Wallace. Cummings to Dembravin. Now up again to Ezekiel, and it's netted. She tried to go for a pretty tight angle inside of Malia Scott, but it's Ezekiel's 8th error. And SWAT just 5 points from closing the door on this big-time Centennial match. Gerard, high ball to Scott. Beautiful dig. They'll reset again to Wallace on the wing. She goes for the touch. It's Doug. Cummings to Gerard. Back to Malia Scott. And a great left hand just over the outstretched arms of Lena Weaver and Christine Yu. Well done by Malia Scott. Her 5th kill, no errors. She's hitting nearly 400. And with a 7-point deficit, F&M calls a timeout. They're going to try to stick around in this game, but we'll stick around with you after this break here on the Garnet Sports Network. A quick update from Clothier Field. It's been an exciting back and forth game between Swarthmore men's soccer and St. Mary's of Maryland. Michael Knapsiger scored in the 69th minute for SWAT, but it was matched by a St. Mary's goal in the 85th minute. But just occurring in the 90th minute, Ryan Muth, senior captain, and the team's leading goal scorer in 2015, tucked one in off a Kyle Richmond cross-it ball to give Swarthmore a 3-2 advantage. And it's the final seconds out there looking to close out a strong non-conference victory over an undefeated opponent in St. Mary's. So some exciting news from Clothier. Also exciting is here in Tarboro, where Malia Scott has just put down a big kill to put Swarthmore up 8 in this final set. The Diplomats looking a little deflated. Late in this fourth set, they've got some massive ground to make up to stay alive in this game. But they'll take a point. Edelstein was slow to get up, but she looks totally fine. She is the essential cog in the F&M offense. With 98% of the team's assists. She's got 32 on the night tonight to go with 15 digs and 3 kills. But there's a lot of progress left to make for the Diplomats. And that's a double hit off Ezekiel, thanks to the Malia Scott swing. 6 kills now for her. 7. Hitting .467 with 17 digs, so she is having herself a night. And the Garnet are just 2 points away from shutting the door. Ezekiel went straight up into the blockers, Scott and Vreslavic. And she snags a point for the Dips. But F&M has to go on a streak right now if they're looking to push this match into a deciding 5th set tiebreaker. Wallace has something to say about that. A fantastic kill, her 19th. Again, using that precision up on the power side to make these balls unplayable for F&M, really bewildering the defense. And so, Malia Scott will serve to close out this match for the Garnet, up 24-16. But it's long, so the celebration will have to wait. And the Diplomats looking to make something happen in the waning moments of this match. It's Ezekiel, sends in a deep serve. Scott, it's up, and Wallace was blocked. She went for the cute little tip over the blocking line, but was denied. The lead's down to 6 in this 4th set. Polisano has to just play it over. Malia Scott wide to Leventhal. And it was a great dig from Zambis, but it's wide, and that will close out this game. Swarthmore College winning 25-20, 15-25, 25-18, 25-18. A 4-set victory, a back-and-forth affair with Franklin and Marshall. Long a dominant Centennial Conference team, projected to be one of the key players in the Centennial this season. But for Swarthmore, despite ending their 28-set winning streak, they've won their 10th match in a row. They improved to 10-1 on the year and take out one of the stronger opponents in the league in Franklin and Marshall, who falls to 8-5 and 0-1 on the year. So Swarthmore with a fantastic start to the 2016 season. They'll return to play this Saturday at 12 noon at Dickinson. And that will be followed by a very important showdown hosting Johns Hopkins on October 1st at 1 o'clock. It will be broadcasted live on the Garnet Sports Network. You're not going to want to miss that one. And please be sure to tune into GSN's broadcasts tomorrow with Swarthmore Field Hockey, as well as this coming Saturday, several big games on tap across Garnet Athletics. So a 4-set victory for Swarthmore. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight here in Tarbell Pavilion. Swarthmore with the victory over visiting Franklin and Marshall. I'm Mark Filati. Have a great night.